Hi, I'm Chris Adams, and this is Perfect Fourths Tuning Part 21, Diminished Triads across the fretboard in the second position. Second inversion is what I should say, second inversion. So the goal of guitar in fourth gear is to use a perfect fourths tuning to simplify the patterns and help experienced guitarists move from the caged box-based thinking to more of an intervallic approach to guitar, and to kind of relearn guitar from first principles thinking, meaning you start with intervals, then you go to triads, then you use scales, but breaking it down into triads and tetrachords, and we'll keep progressing as we go. And to replace maybe larger memorized patterns, if you learn the cage shapes in blocks and just as big blocks of shapes, this is the shapes within the shapes. And also to keep in mind that music can be a great way to exercise your brain as you head off into the sunset here. It's a good way to keep active and a good way to, it's like doing Sudoku puzzles to learn the patterns on the fretboard, and you get value out of it. And you can annoy your spouse with repetitive playing. So perfect fourths tuning is tuning in fourths straight across. So in this guitar, I have tuned the B and E strings, high B and E strings, up to C and F. So I'm tuned E, A, D, G, C, F. And so kind of coincidentally, there's no flats or sharps in these note choices, but you tune at the 5th fret instead of doing the shift, the hump, the jump, the bump, fourths all the way across. Like a 6-string bass, it's just way easier to learn guitar this way. You want to have light strings. These are 8s. You can get them from Stringjoy and other places. Fender makes 8s. Yngwie Malmsteen's set is 8s. Anyway, by the end of this lesson, you'll learn to play diminished triads in the second position, which means in second inversion, starting from the 5th. So 5th root 3rd, using 4 fretboard patterns. So interesting to note about the diminished scale and triad is it's symmetrical. So that in the octave in Western music you have 12 half steps, and the diminished chord is 3 half steps. So the diminished scale divides the octave into 4 parts. So, and you have minor triads, minor thirds, and tritones. So this is what it sounds like. So right now this is a triad. If we keep E as our home bass, and we have root, 3rd, flat 5th, that divides the octave into, we're back at the octave. So we have a minor 3rd here, minor 3rd here, minor 3rd here, minor 3rd here, and we're back at the octave. And this is also tritones. There's a lot of interesting things going on in the diminished scale, which is beyond the scope of what we're talking about here. We're only talking about the triads, we're only talking about the triad shapes. But when you get into learning the functions of the diminished scale in different videos, or different, assuming you're learning videos, different topics, you'll have the shapes under your fingers by playing repetitive shape practice, and you'll see the shapes repeating, and you can reuse them. And because it's diminished, you can use the exact same shape starting on any note of the chord, and you'll have a diminished sound, and you'll be diatonic to the chord. So, for explanation, so here's your. I can play this. So this is a root, the 3rd and the 5th. And for the sake of this discussion, we're going to add it's like a double diminished 7th. But my point is that you can play the same shape. Same shape everywhere. So that's kind of nice. So we'll get into it. There's a link to the PDF in the description that talks about triads, so we can do that. So we're going to go over the 4 versions. So the first version is a one. Do this all the time. Oops. There's going to be 4 versions of the triad. It's going to be 5, 1, 3 on adjacent strings, 5, 1, 3 on a pair of strings, where the 5 is on one string and the root and third are on the next string. 5, 1, 3 on a pair of strings where the 5 and 1 are on one string and the root is on the next string. Or sorry, the third is going to be on the next string. And finally, we have 5, 1, 3 all on the same string. So these are the shapes. So here in this example, the root note is going to be the D. So here's our reference tone, the D, and we're going to play the flat 5 on the 1 on the first fret, the root on the second fret, and the flat third on the top. And here's the second variation where we have the 5th on the 1 string and the root and the third on this next string. Here's a second variation where we have the root. So that's kind of a big jump for me. Tritone, you're there, and then the last variation is going to be the root. Sorry, 5th, root, 3rd, all on the same string. Gotta practice that a little bit more. Anyway, so we're doing this with all 4 triads. In other videos, I have the major triad, minor triad, and this one is the diminished triad. Augmented triad will come later. Augmented triad is also a symmetrical triad. So the diminished triads splits the octave into 4 groups of 12 semitones into 4 groups of 3 semitones. The augmented triad divides the 12 tones into 3 groups of 4 semitones. So, but in finger pattern wise, you play the same shape everywhere, so it's nice. So we're going to take these shapes that we went over above and play them diagonally this way, and a little bit across the neck this way. So this is the entire, you can see this in the PDF, so this is everything at once. We're going to play all these, but it might be kind of overwhelming now. But one pattern at a time, we'll get through there. So this is the 5, 1, 3 on the adjacent strings. So this, from here forward, we're going to be in the A tonality. So this is where so that's what our ear can hear is this. We're going to start on the 5th, the flat 5. So here's 11, 12, 10. Okay, so we're going to play that up an octave. So 11, 12, 10, and 13, 14, 12. Very easy shape to play. Little kind of triangular shape, but very easy for your fingers. Now we're going to start here and go the octave we can reach this way. So 11, 12, 10, and we're going to go up to the 8, 9, 7. Whoops. And here it is going in 2 directions. So we'll be 11, 12, 10, 13, 14, 12. And down here we have 6, root, 6th fret, 7th fret, 5th fret for 5th of the chord, root of the chord. So here's our tone. So you can hear it. I forget to mention this sometimes, but if you get yourself a freeze pedal, a keyboard, or just hit your open string, it helps to keep your ear in tune. Because a third out of context, or in a different context, is going to have a completely different purpose. Anyway, so we're, what do I have not played yet? 8th fret. I like these symmetrical chords. I'm still learning, honestly, learning to use them more, but they're very easy, and especially with perfect fourths, you just kind of lock your fingers. Symmetrically around the patterns when you're experimenting with what you're learning. So here's the second variation. So we're going to start with the 5th on the 11th fret, root on the 12th fret of the A string, and then the 3rd up here. And then so we're going to move that up the neck this way. We're going to see our tritone interval again here. So starting. So that's just playing the tritones across, starting the 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 fret. And this is just picking up the thirds as we're going up the pattern. So 5th, 3rd. So on the 11, 12, 15, then we're going to go up an octave. We're going to be 13, 14, 17, and we're going to go up another octave. It's going to be 15, 16, and 19. And here's going this way. So we're going to go 11, 12, 15, and then we're going to go 8, 9, 12. And here it is across 5 strings. Yeah, we get 5 strings out of this variation. So 11, 12, 15. We're going to go up to 7. 6th fret. So same shape. Starting on the 6th fret. Then we're going to go up to the 13th fret. D string, then we're going to go to the G string. We're going to be on the 8th fret, and we're going to go on the 12th fret of the B string of the C string. What did I do wrong? Oh, sorry, 15th fret of the C string. So you see what happened there, where it didn't sound totally wrong, because I'm down a minor third. So I'm playing the same pattern, minor third down, minor third down, minor third down. So same pattern all over. So experiment with that as you get more comfortable with the shapes. This is a third variation. So we're going to have the starting 11th fret, 17th fret, 15th fret. So we have the minor third interval here, and we're going to go up with the tritone to slide from here. So that's another kind of useful sound. Has a lot of grit and power to it when you can slide up like that, or play it. If you can get your fingers to go that far, I can't. But here we go. 11, 17, 15, 13, 13, 19, 17, 15, 21, 19. Whoops, 13, 19, 17. Okay. Okay, here's going this away. So we start with on the 11th fret again. So 11, 17, 15. And we're going to find the note again on the 8th fret here. 8, 14, 12 with the frets. So fifth, it's the 5th of the chord. So here's our tritone interval. It's the 5th, so root is here, 5th is here. Here's our octave. And so now here it is in more spots. So starting again on the 11th fret, 11, 17, 15. Then we're going to go to 6, 12, 10. To start on the 5th, on the A string, whoops. And then we're going to go to the 13th fret. We can also play on the 1st fret, I guess, but we'll do the 13th fret, 19, 17. Then we're going to go back to the 8th fret. And then we're going to go to the 14, 12. So 8, 14, 12. And we're going to go to what's next, the 15th. So 15th and the 21st and the 19th. So most electric guitars you can get up to the 21st fret. Most acoustic guitars probably not. They don't have one. Now, finally, the 4th version, 5, 1, 3 on a single string. So we're going to start at 11th fret, 17, 20. And for this one, this guitar is going to run out of frets, so I'm going to bend up to see how that goes. So the 5th on the 11th fret, the root on the 17th fret, and the 3rd on the 20th fret. Next, we're going to go to the 13th. And we're going to do it again on the 15th. On the 21st, let me try to get it a little better, but sort of. If you have 24 frets, you'll be able to reach it more easily without bending. Here's one going this way. So 11, 11, 17, 20, 5th, 3rd, and we're going to go up to the 8th, and we're going to go to 14th, 17th, 8, 14, 17. So 5th, tritone to the root, flat 5, tritone to the root. That way, and finally we go on the 10th fret, and we're going to go to the 15th, 10th, 16, and 19. So that big leap is a tritone. With people with better conditioned hands and bigger hands. Well, my hands are pretty big, but my finger's broken. Thanks to a mosh pit at a Meshuggah concert when I was 52 years old. Oops. Kids, don't do that. But anyway, I broke my finger, so I can't reach. But if Django Reinhardt can shred, I can deal with it. So here's the last variation, 5, 1, 3 on a single string. So again, at the 11th, 17, 20, 6, what am I up to? 6, 12, 15, and we're going to go to the 1, 1st fret, 7th fret, 10th fret, and we're going to start tritone away right at the 8th fret. So 8th, 14, 17, and we're going to go back down to the 3rd, 3rd, 9th, 12th, 3rd fret, And finally we're going to go at the 10th, 16th, 19th, sorry. Okay, so this is the third row in this diagram. So we made it. If you're following along, we made it through all three inversions. So it's the root inversion, first inversion, second inversion. Got through them all. Thanks for watching. As with all of this material in this series, take your time, practice slowly. It's meant to be, you come home from work or whatever, you just sit, you get your sofa guitar, and you just relax and play your shapes. Get your shapes in your head. You relax and build your stuff up over time, and it'll be worth it. You do this slowly, and you get these shapes under your fingers, and then you say, "Oh yeah," and you realize that if you've been following along, all these triad shapes are either major thirds or minor thirds, and so you can just stack them together. And once you hear, "Oh, I'm at the root," if I want to make a minor sound, I make a minor third and a major third, or I can go backwards or down a fourth and a third, like that. So from here, that's the first inversion. But if I'm anyway, you can get around. Thanks for watching. Here's my books. Some of my books. I'm starting to write quite a bit actually these days. So the first one is all about transitioning from cage thinking into perfect force thinking, and it goes over, kind of gives like a overview of how you can do that. And then the second one is triad studies. I did three volumes of complexity. This what we went over today is part of volume 1. This particular book is all 3 volumes at once in the complete edition. So look at it on Amazon. If you're not sure about it and you have Kindle Unlimited, they're free to read on Kindle Unlimited. So go for it. Here's my website where I do a bunch of stuff talking about guitars, music stuff, coding, artificial intelligence, all the things I'm into. So check that out and have a great day.